Hi everybody, my name is Rachel and welcome to the French Seams. Thanks so much for coming back for another video. This is going to be about everything I got made up in October, and I'm just looking here and there is quite a little pile, so I think I've surprised myself. Before I get started, I'd like to say a huge thank you to everybody who's watched any of my previous videos, anybody who's left a thumbs up, anybody who's left a comment, and a big thank you to everybody who's subscribed. So during October I reached 2,000 subscribers, which just blew me away. I was so happy when I saw that. So I really enjoy making these videos, and that just kind of spurs me on to make more content for you guys, which is really great. So it surprises me when somebody watches one of my videos, and it surprises me even more when somebody comes back to watch more videos. So it really does mean an awful lot to me. So thank you so much to each and every one of you. I really enjoy doing this, so thank you. October is really good. It seemed to go by in a blur again. We had Halloween, which is quite nice. I went back to work, so I had a bit of a revelation this month. I don't know if any of you have also had this revelation. Having two small children and a full-time job outside the home, it seriously cuts into your sewing time. So I'm not quite sure if other people found that, but yeah, I did struggle this month too. Obviously during maternity leave you could be, tipping away at bits here and there, but working and looking after two smallies, obviously with the usual sickness and bugs that come with daycare and things like that, it has been quite tricky, but it has been enjoyable as well to kind of see them back in the creche enjoying themselves, and also for me as well to go back into the working environment, which has been interesting. I haven't been there for a long time, since I finished up at the start of the year, so it's a whole new adjustment for me as well, but it has been good. But as a household we've had an awful lot to catch up with and to adjust to, so if you do have any advice on that, please let me know below. I would really appreciate it. So I'm going to get cracking because I do have quite a little pile here, and I'll get going on my first make for October. So in October it was my older boy's birthday, and for his birthday I always make him bunting. Always. He's had 3 birthdays. So I made him this dinosaur bunting. So you may have heard me mention once or twice that I bought a fabulous new sewing machine, and I bought it from a shop in Ireland called sewingmachines.ie, and they also do fat quarters. So when I saw this I just thought it was super cute, so I had to buy this as a kind of a dinosaur themed birthday. So I really enjoy making bunting. I'll put the dimensions below because I make the same size the whole time, and I just think it comes out really nice. So that's one little make I really enjoy. And I did have some little leftovers, so I made scrunchies. If you're like me, of my vintage, you grew up with scrunchies. Literally, you wouldn't leave the house with at least 6 or 7 of them on your arm. So I found a wonderful tutorial which does the burrito method for scrunchies, which seems really quite exciting for me anyway. So I whipped up a few of these little bad boys, and I'm just loving them. I don't know how they ever went out of fashion in the first place. They're just marvellous. So yes, little dinosaur scrunchies, how bad? For his birthday I made him little pyjamas, which I think I mentioned last month. This fabric is from Beyond the Pink Door, and so little matching trousers. They came out really nicely, and this size, I think I made him size 4, they fit him absolutely perfectly, and he really enjoys wearing them. So it's super cute when little kids wear them, the things that you made them. I really enjoy it. So for this I made the Made by Me Patterns kids pyjamas, and if you watch Amelia on Sew Amelia, I'll link her channel below. She has the most gorgeous channel. She's also going to make these for her little boys, so I'm hoping she gets on as well with her little boys as my little boy gets on with these. So yeah, I just made the same fit as before, size 4 again, and yeah, they're just perfect. They whip up so quickly as well. This is the second pair I've made of these now, and I can imagine I'll be making many more. It goes up to size 10, so yeah, get another couple of years out of those, which is great. And because I had a little bit of leftover dinosaur fabric and I wanted to use up old scraps, I made a few little snoods for us as a family. So I just think these are really cute. I literally just kind of measured necks and what you could pull on over your head. So this is my one. This is the back of a jersey that I got a long time ago, I think in Quilt Yarn Stitches. It's got little dots on the other side, but this is lovely fleecy back, and so I've made myself this little stud, and then I made one for my little boy and one for my husband as well. So I used up all the scraps of dinosaur fabric, and they're super cute and really nice just on the cold days. Even like our house is freezing, so just wearing these around the house is lovely and warm and toasty, and that's literally all the dinosaur fabric used up, which makes me feel good that I'm not having any scraps. So those are my little first make little dinosaur pyjamas. The next thing I got made up in October is my Nina Lee Mayfair dress. And here she is in all her glory. With all my makes, of course, I'll pop in a few pictures here before, easier for you to see. So I really enjoyed making this. eventually. If you saw on my Instagram, I made such a mistake making this, oh my word. So I'd all my fabric laid out perfectly and I put down the pattern pieces according to the lay plan, which looked fine. I said, yeah, that's absolutely grand. And then for some reason, my brain took a holiday and I refolded the fabric like I would make, say, a t-shirt where you fold the two edges into the side and cut out the back. So of course then I was left with not enough fabric to cut out the front. Anyway, you can imagine what happened next. So I was able to do a little bit of pattern Tetris. So what I managed to do was cut the two front pieces in two pieces. So I basically made a waist seam, which isn't what you should do according to the pattern. So it's meant to be just two pieces on the front cut mirror images of each other. So I took a punt about where the waist would be, where this beautiful gathering is, and I just had to make a seam there and then join it together, and that's where I did the gathering. I think it worked out okay in the end, and I was able to hide it under the tie with this, but the waist is a tiny bit high, but I'll take it after the ridiculous mistake I made. I mean, what a rookie error, seriously. But the dress came out really, really well in the end. It's got a beautiful little pleat detail at the back and the burrito method for doing the neckline, which gives it a beautiful finish on the inside. I did do the waist ties, which I really like, and it's a lovely big skirt as well, and I just love the fabric. This is from Crafty Studio and it's got little glitter dots in it as well, which I really, really like. It matches my glitter nail varnish. So I really enjoyed making this. It's a beautiful construction to the dress. As I said in my last video, I haven't made a jersey dress for a long, long time, so it's quite nice to kind of get back to grips with that. It's slightly tricky when you do the burrito for the neckline. That was a little bit of a head scratching moment, but once you kind of get there, it's all right. I think it's just because the dress, it's not like, say, making a burrito yoke for a shirt where you've only got a shirt length of fabric, but this is a full dress that you have to roll up, so it ends up being quite bulky. But I think if you kind of keep your wits about you, I think you'll be all right in the end. So I made a size 10 at the bust, grading to a 12, grading to a 14 at the waist and hips, which seemed to match my measurements. And I also added ½ inch to the bodice. I could actually have added an inch. I think I could have lowered it, although if I hadn't have made my mistake, I probably just could have put it on me and then measured where I put the pleats in the waist anyway. In the instructions it says to put a little tape to do the gatherings at the waist. I didn't have that, so I just did a few gathering stitches, which seemed to work out absolutely fine. My piece de resistance on my lovely new sewing machine, I was able to do twin needle top stitching in my gold metallic thread. If you are on my Instagram, you know that I have a love-hate relationship with this gold metallic thread. I've had it for so long and I use it on loads of projects, and it really annoys me every time I use it because it never goes well. It keeps snapping. But my new machine, it just worked a dream. It was just a joy to use, and I think it looks really, really nice on this fabric. So that's just a little detail that maybe only I know, but I think it looks really, really cute. And I was able to do the whole hem and that and everything, which was fabulous. I didn't do it in the bobbin thread. I just did a matching. I think that would have been a bridge too far, but I did it in the top stitch there, which I think worked really, really well. I added 2 inches to the sleeves to make them nice and long to fit me, and I added 1 inch to the skirt length, and the skirt length came out perfectly as well. So I really, really enjoy wearing it. I do need to get a slip first because it does stick to tights, which I think, yeah, that's an occupational hazard, I think. But I really, really like this dress. What else do I have? Yeah, no, that was everything I had to mention it. This is my second Nina Lee pattern, and so because I made the portobello trousers last month, and I'm really enjoying them. I really like the instructions. They're really clear, and the pictures guide you through as well. So I'm very, very happy with it, and I will be wearing this much more in the future. I think it's a beautiful autumn colour dress, and I'd make more of these in the future for sure. So this is my little Nina Lee Mayfair dress. Next up in October, I made the Freya top from the Tilly and the Button stretch book. So the Freya top is absolutely brilliant. I'm so surprised that I didn't make it sooner. I do have a love affair with the Agnes top, and I think that's why I bypassed this for so long, but this is perfect for the kind of the autumn winter equivalent of the Agnes top. So it comes in a few variations. This one here has the kind of mock neck, but I made the roll neck, and then you can also make the cowl neck. So if you can see, we'll chat about that shortly. So I made the roll neck in this lovely grey fabric from Crafty Studio. So beautiful grey colour. Apologies if there's something on it. I've been wearing it so much recently. It's absolutely fabulous. So this is the neck, the way it comes out, and then you can just roll it down or you can slouch it, whatever you like. And it's the perfect height as well, because you don't want anything too short as well, do you? And I made the full length sleeves. And again, my beautiful machine, I was able to do the twin needle on the hem as well. And I will be doing a review of my lovely machine when I get around to it, my new Juki machine. It's absolutely fabulous. A few people have been asking me about it and I'm just so happy with it. I really, really am. So I'm still learning and I'm still going through all the various things you can do with it. But so far, so very, very good. So now this is the Freya top, which I absolutely love, and I'm going to be making an awful lot more of these in the future. Kath from Kath Craft, I'll link her below as well. She has a fabulous YouTube channel. So she recently did a video all about styling her Freyas, and she has some beautiful versions that she styles with different dresses and tops and things. So this kind of inspired me to pair this with a few different items in my wardrobe, which is great. So so it really is going to do hard work in my wardrobe now. That this season definitely is going to, I think it's going to kind of release an awful lot of jumpers for me, because I can just put it on over a nice jumper and wear things that I wouldn't ordinarily be able to wear in the winter, which is great. So size wise, I made a size 4 at the bust, grading to a 5 at the waist and hips, which matched my measurements perfectly, and it came up really, really well. I added 1.5 inches to the sleeve, which is absolutely perfect. I didn't add anything to the bodice, and I should have really. It's fine because currently I'm tucking it in because it's winter and it's cold, but I think I would like to add a 1/2 inch or 1 inch maybe to the length of it, just to make it a little bit more comfortable. But overall, really, really happy with it, and I'll be making an awful lot more. So the reason I mentioned the cowl is because it leads very, very nicely into this. So I mentioned last month there was a YouTube challenge called That's So October, which is really enjoyable and spurred me on to refashion this, which has been sitting in my wardrobe for years and years and years. So this pumpkin t-shirt was a ready-to-wear t-shirt I bought donkeys years ago, and I could never wear it because it was a very low neck, very thin t-shirt, and Ireland in October, not going to happen. So hot off the success of my Freya, I said, right, I'll do a Freya, because I was wondering kind of what pattern to use. So I had some black cotton jersey, and I knew that the sleeves were perfect, so I cut out sleeves. Christine from the Nap Time Sewist, I'll also link her YouTube channel below. And an awful lot of shout outs today, but these ladies are just wonderful. She suggested to keep the little sleeve here to make it into a little cap sleeve detail, and I'm really glad I did. So thank you, Christine, because I think that looks really, really cute. So I was able to add in sleeves, just literally sewed them on the inside like you would, just pretend you've just made the top and then sew in the sleeves. What I did then was I got a little bit of jersey fabric and cut it out to raise the neckline. So I lay the pattern piece for the Freya on top of the t-shirt I had, and saw how much I had to raise it by. So you can probably just about see there's a seam here. So it's a little kind of half moon section that I raised the neckline by. And then I cut out the cowl piece. I'm wearing a vest under it, of course. Then I cut out the cowl piece, which is huge. It's absolutely enormous. So, and it just gives a really, really nice finish. So I was able to whiz all that together on my overlocker. This cotton jersey is a different weight to the t-shirt, but it's absolutely fine. It doesn't make any odds to me. And I'm just super happy with the result. It's given this t-shirt a whole new lease of life. And it also made me aware that the cowl neck on this is just wonderful. So I'll also be making a few more of those. So the Freya now did me very well this month, in the fact that I got my roll neck and also my cowl neck and also my entry to that challenge. So I'll now move on to another of my makes. So, and this was my final make for October. So a few of you might remember my Mile End sweatshirt from a couple of months ago. This beautiful sweatshirt from Closet Core Patterns, with the lovely little tie deal at the waist. And this fabric is from Crafty Studio. It's a beautiful khaki scribble dots fabric with a lovely kind of fleecy inside. I absolutely loved it. From the second I made this, I really, really liked it and really enjoyed working with the fabric, and really liked how the jumper came out. So I really wanted to make the matching joggers. So I made the Plateau joggers by Closet Core, and here they are. And I'm absolutely delighted with these. I've been living in these. So as soon as about 8 o'clock comes and the smallies are in bed, these come on and down to the couch, maybe with an old cheeky glass of wine as well. So I absolutely love them. So Anne-Marie still has some of the fabric left, which was great because it just matches perfectly. And these came out really, really well. So I made the straight size 14. My measurements might have put me in a size 12, but looking at the finished garment measurements, I didn't want these to be too tight fitting. And I know in the picture of the pattern, which I'll pop in here, they are quite a snug fit and quite a short trouser on them, kind of close fitting leg, which I didn't really want. I wanted a little bit of room and ease because you don't want to be too constricted sitting on the couch reaching for your glass of wine. So I ended up making the size 14 and that fit absolutely perfectly. It's very useful. It gives the finished hip measurement, waist measurement, it gives the thigh, it gives the knee, it gives the ankle for the straight cuff, which is one that I made. I didn't make the elastic cuff. It also gives the front rise, the total crotch length, and the inseam, which was really, really good. So I spent a little while with measuring tape, seeing how I fit into all of those, and they all seem to work out really well. The rise seemed fine, but I wanted to add in a little bit because the Myland sweatshirt is quite cropped, and even though I did add, I think, 1.5 inches to the length of mine, it still is quite short on me, and the last thing you want is an exposed midriff. So I raise these a little bit, so they're more waisted now, I suppose, but it does give good coverage now over my tummy. And then I also, so I added 1 inch to the rise, which is perfect. And then I added 3 inches to the inseam because I was about 3 inches taller than the finished garment measurements here. So I'm 5'9". And that seemed to work out perfectly as well. There's a little bit of gathering at the bottom, but that's perfect when you're kind of walking around. I didn't want them to kind of too tight fitting at the bottom, and I have them on with nice kind of snuggly socks and everything, so I'm delighted with myself. They have beautiful pockets. I was so confused when I was cutting out the pattern pieces. I couldn't figure out how the pockets fit together, but it's really, really clever construction. So the seam is actually, a little bit of thread. The seam is actually tucked in all the way in here, but it just gives a really nice finish. Because I added 1 inch to the rise, I also added 1 inch to the pockets to make them slightly deeper so that the whole thing proportionally kind of fit, which is grand. So they're grand deep pockets, so it means you can put in your phone and all your snacks as you're walking from the fridge to the couch. So the beautiful elastic finish, very wide elastic band for the waist, which is super comfortable. And I just did 2 rows of stitching here. I didn't do the drawstring. I don't think that's needed. A little bit of dingly dangly. I don't think you need it. And then I just did the straight cuffs as well. I didn't do the elastic cuffs. I think elastic cuffs, elastic waist, elastic on the sweatshirt, so that would be far too much kind of gathering. So I just left them straight, which I think look really, really great. So overall, absolutely delighted with these, and I definitely would make them again. I definitely would recommend them. I didn't add the back pockets. I don't think you need them again. And overall the construction of them was great, and the instructions again was really, really good. So I'm delighted to have my matching plateau joggers and my Myland sweatshirt. So matchy. So if you need me, I'll be in these for the entire of the winter. So because October was Halloween as well, my little boy, I kept kind of, what would you like to be for Halloween? What would you like to be? Would you like to be an astronaut? Because I've bought you an astronaut costume. Would you like to be an astronaut? No, I want to be a snake. Okay, what do I do with the snake? Well, he kept on at that. I was like, you sure you don't want to be an astronaut? No, he wants to be a snake. My last shout out to YouTube videos, if you watch Megan G Makes, I love her videos. She has a whole videos all about Halloween sewing for her kids, which is fabulous. I would recommend watching that. But so no, I want to be a snake. So I was like, what'll I do? How can I make a snake? So does that look like a snake to you? Yes, it does. So I was able to whip up a snake costume. Well, kind of a snake costume. And this is it. What do we think? Do we think it looks like a snake? There we go. So I had a little bit of leftover fabric from my plateau joggers to make a snake costume. So this is the Waves and Wild Eclipse tee, which you know as well I've made loads of. And I just made a little kind of, is it a gilet? I don't know what you call it, basically a sleeveless version. I sized up because it's sweater fabric and he was wearing it over a jumper. So I just left the sleeves off and I just hemmed the bottom, and then I added on the hood, which is actually lovely, and I wish they did that in adult sizes. It's kind of a crossover hood, which is a really, really nice detail. And the hood is cut on 2 folds, so it gives a really, really nice finish. It did mean I had to cut into this fold here to make a seam, but never mind, I don't think he noticed. So I cut into it, and then I had a bit of this red fabric, which I made into a little snake tongue. So he seemed really happy. He went off wearing this, so I was delighted. And again, I was able to use up all available scraps of this. So this is now a snake costume. So I'm glad he has good imagination. He did really think this is a snake. And yeah, the astronaut will just have to wait. So they were all my makes for October, but I do have now one bonus make. And this is my bonus make. So I actually made this a couple of months ago now. So I was very, very lucky. Anne-Marie from the Crafty Studio, so you know I do really enjoy her shop. She asked me to be a pattern tester for her first pattern, which was super excited, and I'm so delighted for her because I've been using her shop for a long time and she's just so lovely. So I jumped at the opportunity. So here it is. Again, I'll pop in some pictures. This is the Crafty Studio Claire top, and it is absolutely beautiful. So the fabric is a washed cotton from her site in khaki green. green, so you know how I feel about my khaki green, and it's the most beautiful fabric. It's kind of got a little kind of crinkle effect. It's really, really nice, really beautiful to work with. So it's just the most gorgeous top. So it's a semi boat neck, finished with a button and a loop at the back, so I've just done a little covered button. It has the most beautiful pleat detail on the sleeve head, which gives a lovely detail here, and then the end of the sleeve is ever so slightly tapered, so it really accentuates the top. So really, really nice, and then just goes straight down. It's got French darts that come from kind of just above the waist all the way up to the bust, which gives a beautiful shaping to the waist as well as the bust, which is really, really nice and very straightforward to sew as well. So I was really happy to be involved in this. I'd never been involved in the pattern testing of anything before, so it was a lovely enjoyable process to be in, and we had a little group with the other pattern testers, which was lovely. So I really enjoyed doing this, and I'm just delighted now she has this almost out in the wild. It's going to be released very, very soon. I'll have more details on my Instagram about it. It comes in a B, C and D cup and sizes 6 to 30. So I think I made a size 12 grading to a 14, and I made a B cup as well. Very good size range. It'll come in PDF, copy shop, and also I think she's doing a sew along video tutorial as well, so wonderful for beginners. It's finished with a little facing, I should say, here as well, but all in all a really, really nice construction and a really beautiful top. So I think the inspiration came from her sister, where she says, what will we wear going out? Just jeans and a nice top, and this definitely is a nice top. It's for woven fabrics, and I think you could have really fun with it about what different fabrics you could use. You could use like a linen or a cotton or maybe a chambray, be really, really pretty. So no, it's just absolutely beautiful, and I'm delighted for Anne-Marie with her first pattern. I'm really, really pleased for her, and just so delighted I can be involved in it. So when it is released, I'll put it up on my Instagram definitely with a link to it, but I would highly recommend this beautiful new Crafty Studio Claire top. I almost forgot my last make. My lovely little blanket. I just saw it there and thought I had to jump back on and show you. So I finished my little crochet blanket. So pleased with this. This is from the Bella Coco site, and it's called a granny ripple. So it's a little crochet and the variated wool that I showed before. So it's just 2 balls of wool, so it's not massive. It's about this size, but it's perfect for just having on your lap in the evenings watching telly. So super happy with this, my little crochet project. So I will link it below. It was really enjoyable to do. It took about a month, I suppose, kind of tipping away at it each night, but just really, really pleased with how it came out, and I think it's really effective in this fabric. So oops, you can see that a little bit. We'll turn it around that way. So yeah, I need to do all kinds of things like getting rid of, is it weaving in ends and blocking, and it's a whole new world for me. But yes, I have my lovely sister on hand to help me finish it off. But just super happy with this, because a few of you had mentioned about the blankets. So I just want to show you the progress on it. So it is finished. Here we go. And I'll definitely be doing more crochet in future. Not that I'm going to go full on crochet, but I think just a few little projects here and there to keep me tipping over, I think is really nice for the winter. So there we go. There's my little granny ripple crochet blanket. So that's everything I have for October. Thank you so much for sticking with me. I think this is a bumper video. I'm going to come back to you very soon with my November plans. So I only have a few now, so it's getting to that time of the year, so I don't want to overstretch myself too much. As well as I mentioned earlier with our new lifestyle here. If you would like to have a comment below, that would be great. You know how much I love having the chats, and I've met so many wonderful people through having the chats in the comment section below. If you did enjoy this, please give it a thumbs up, and please also consider subscribing and join the other 2,000 other people who enjoy watching these videos, which is just marvellous. So thank you very, very much, everybody. I hope you're all well, I hope you're all safe, and I hope you have a lovely day, and I'll talk to you all again very soon. Bye.